All right, everybody, welcome to this Q&A OT stream. We're doing the Knights-Ducks game later tonight at 9:50 Eastern Time, so I figured let's do a Q&A OT before that, since I have no idea when that game is going to end, and let the East Coast people who have to go to bed later tonight get their requests in and whatnot. So, appreciate all you guys being here. We got a lot to talk about before I even start. First off, Brandon Clark, way too young, 29. I saw Jason Collins pass away a couple minutes ago. The first openly gay center in NBA history. Tragic there, brain cancer. That's awful. That is awful. I saw the results in the with Southampton and Park Thistle. I saw that. And yeah, Charles Young, the legendary tight end with the Seahawks and the Eagles, passed away. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Steelers Saints in Paris, that got announced. We got Bengals playing a game overseas. That should be fun. So appreciate you guys being here. Thoughts on Broncos Chiefs week 1? I hate it. I don't get it at all. You don't know Mahomes is going to be healthy or not. Why are you putting the Chiefs in prime time on week 1 when you have no clue if Mahomes is going to play? Like, I'm fine with the Broncos because Bo Nix and everything. He'll be okay. But we don't know with Mahomes. We have no idea with Mahomes if he's going to be healthy or not. Why he's playing, why they're doing a primetime game week 1 when you truly don't know if Mahomes is going to be back in time. I have no idea. So I don't like that. International games not too surprised by. It's way too risky. Way too risky. Mike with a 2 to start. All right, let's do this thing. So, how it works like this. Fire with the channel any questions you might have. Be happy to answer anything, everything. Any donation. Get to your question right away. You see what takes skin to the queue. Audio, video, chat, GPT, Sporkle quiz, what if sports, immaculate grids. We will do all of that fun stuff here. And then Michael with another 2. She's a rebel. All right, we will do that. And Skylar did say something intelligent. Yes. Oh, man, that was actually pretty intelligent. I'm not going to lie. That was pretty intelligent, what I saw. Yeah, I think it's too risky. I think it's way too risky. Yeah, the choices are both awful. Giants, Cowboys, 2 teams below 500 last season. And then Monday night, you're going with the Chiefs who might not have Mahomes. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. It doesn't seem right. The new ref CBA, thank God for that. Again, deadline spur action. I wasn't surprised. They were very proactive with everything, so I was not surprised it was going to happen. How's it going, Cujo from Bo Nix Country? Let's go. Not have a KC getting the game over Denver. Oh, I think it's a good move, Cujo. I actually would rather be in KC than Denver because the tougher game is at Arrowhead versus Denver. You don't know Mahomes is going to be healthy or not. If I was a Bronco fan, the game I would want week 1 would be on the road against the Chiefs. Because there's a chance Mahomes might not play. There's a chance he might not play. So I actually think it's good for you guys. I'd rather have it in KC than Denver. Get the game in Arrowhead out of the way where there's a chance Mahomes might not be okay. Mike with another 5. I appreciate you, man. Show me a screenshot. I will do that. Yep. I will do that. How's it going, Allie? Appreciate you being here. Oh, as a fan who attends the game, that's a different story, yeah. As a fan who attends the game, I get it from that perspective. It was like a nice mellow song to start. Raiders Saints in Paris. Wait, Raiders Saints in Paris? I thought it was Saints Steelers in Paris. I saw Saints Steelers in Paris. Beat Mahomes both times the other way. You're probably not wrong at that point. All right, let me share the screenshot up. He was not playing well before the injury. I will give you that. I 100% give you that. Yeah, I saw with everything with... I mean, that just tragic. Tragic. Way too young on all those guys. Yeah, it was Steelers Saints. That's what I thought. Yeah, Giants, Cowboys, how many times do we have to each this lesson, old man? That's pretty much what this is. All right, this is what Skylar said. He said something intelligent. Yeah, I feel bad for him, too. Yeah, brain cancer is a horrible way to go. Just look up Taryn's book on Big Brother. Now I'm reading it. Nice. I never wrote a book on that one. No, it sounds bad. 2 games meant nothing in the Saturday slot, so that is true. If I could only guarantee no divisional or enter a conference internationally, which one? Guarantee no divisional. Guarantee no divisional. Irvin Mann for 21 months now. That press conference was nuts. That press conference... If even one of those lines was said at a press conference, I'd be making an emergency live stream on that. The fact that 15 things were said during that, he's off his rocker. He's completely off his rocker. Wait, Raiders. I'm seeing Nerding on NFL say it's the I like this Gibby Novocaine song. Why divisional over interconference? Because I don't want to like Packers Bears going overseas. You know, Aussie and NFL Nerding on NFL are saying Steelers Saints. Yeah, same guy who thought that no outlet meant there's no place to plug his phone. Yeah. You know, Nerding on NFL, Steelers Saints. I'm not seeing Raiders. And those are reliable. Nerding and Ozzy are reliable. They're legit. Yeah, we should be a little bit concerned. Skylar's starting to learn a little bit. Yeah, Cowboys and Rio, yeah. I think it's not going to be it's not going to be a standalone game. Never ends. Nope. Let me spin the karaoke wheel too. Let me spin the karaoke wheel as well. $50 for any song, $25 for the half off song, which is going to be. I'm gonna link the thing. Yeah, that Novocaine song is incredible. Actually, that was really really good. I've never heard that one before. What's the wheel landing on? Mustang Sally. Ooh. Oh, the Watch Mojo crash out. What's funny is that the video itself wasn't even that good. Like, I watched the whole 30-minute video last night. It was not a very well-written video. Like, that was the weird thing. Like, the video itself was not that good. Like, the writing was kind of sloppy, and it, didn't really have much to say. It was just like, yeah, Watch Mojo was a trendsetter, and now they just repackaged their content because they focus on quantity over quality. But yeah, Craig Morton, yep. Absolute legend. Cowboys legend. But it's funny, like, if you watch the video, it's not that harsh on Watch Mojo. It's actually not that harsh on it. So, it's weird. It's not harsh on Watch Mojo, necessarily. The vocals are so polished on this one. Pads versus Chiefs Super Bowl? Yep. Yeah, the game's on Paramount Plus. I'm not sure. Why would we call basketball and hockey when baseball exists? Just better numbers. Just better numbers. You know, should have taken the sack. Yeah, yeah. Morton threw 4 passes to the Broncos, 4 to the Cowboys in that game. It's crazy. Yeah. You know, it was the worst game by any quarterback in the Super Bowl. I know Kerry Collins was bad and Tony Eason was bad. Yeah, but the crash out was nuts. Because that channel's not that big. That channel, it's not like it's like Moist Critical or well, now Heated because of the response. But it's not like it's Mr. Beast calling him out or anything. It was a channel with 100,000 viewers. No, I don't blame Mike on that one. Liberman, Guerrero, Caillou, and Howard Henry having a gang war? Oh boy. Yeah, I might stream that one. Yeah, the Real Madrid press conference, that was nuts. There were like 15 things said during that press conference that made me audibly say, I'm sorry, what? Like, crazy. Crazy on that. Like, he's off his rocker. Yeah, that's a very noble way to respond to not winning a title. Saying we had 18 points stolen from us and players fight all the time and they have to shoot me to get me out. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, Watch Mojo, if you're going to respond to criticism on something, the number one rule of thumb is actually watch the thing so you know what to criticize. Watch backwards, get Bears week 1-4-25. Wouldn't hate that. Yeah, Brandon Clark, way too young. Charles Young, great tight end. Great tight end back in the day. And then Jason Collins, the first openly gay center in NBA, or player in NBA history. Crazy. Brain cancer is a horrible way to go. Brain cancer is a horrible way to go. Yeah, Skyler said something intelligent before we got GTA 6. Yep. We have nothing left to the Q as things stand, so again, any donations, audio, video, ChatGPT, Spoken Quiz. Yeah, we already got a crash shot over the kickoffs for the 2-minute warning. We already got that. Yes, we did. Yeah, but Steelers, Saints, and Bengals, Falcons in Madrid. Yep. Yeah, Perez makes Stolen and Snyder look like Saints, which is crazy. Yeah, and Bobby Cox, Craig Morton, Ted Turner. We've lost a lot of guys lately. We don't have enough coaching meltdowns and pressers. No, we do not. I miss it. I miss the 2000s with that. Had Landry started Staubach, would they have won? Yes, I think so. I think if they didn't do the 2 QB system, I think they would have won that game. Yeah, it's like Jerry Jones, but on steroids. It's crazy. Yeah, the last few days have been cruel in the sports world. Just absolutely tragic. And the Guardians PA announcer passed earlier today. It's crazy. Everyone is... It's taking a lot of people right now. It's crazy. Yeah, so it takes skin to the queue. Doing this OT Q&A thing right now. I got to the 2 Green Day songs. Shortest one we ever had? Well, I stay on regardless for like 45 minutes. Regardless of what happens. I'll take it. I'll take anything right now at this point. But yeah, the Watch Mojo crash out was nuts. Right, and the Yankees long time announcer, yep. Yeah, but that was such a bad crash out. I feel like everyone's like crashing out at this point. Also, we have some non-conference for college basketball, some High Point news. If you guys haven't seen this, High Point home and home against St. Louis. That's a big one. Like legitimate quad 1 game. Home and home against St. Louis. I love it. That is incredible. Yeah, Southampton facing Spygate 2 whatever spying during Middlesbrough training session. Yeah, ain't she need trying. Ain't she need trying. Feels like. I'm not surprised. I feel like there's allegations like that all the time. We saw that at the so account of the Women's World Cup, right? Or the Olympics? Yeah, it was the Olympics. That should be a good game. Oh, that's awful, Golden State. I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. You know, St. Louis is very good at basketball. Yeah, they're a top 25 team. They're a consistently top 25 team. That Grok erotica was, oh man, that was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. High will lose by 5 or less so they get an A10 invite. I don't think it has to do with that. I don't think it's going to have to do with how much they lose by, but I think they're going to get an invite sooner than later. So while 5, the artificial turf they played on actually melted, which is why a lot of players are slang around. Yeah, the Orange Bowl had that horrible artificial turf back in the 70s, which just sucked. You know, artificial turf back in the 70s is not what it is today. Yeah, but the Blunder Bowl. That's why it was the Blunder Bowl. Yeah, you see what takes skin to the queue? Any audio, video, ChatGPT, Sporkle quiz, what if sports, immaculate grids, anything. Yeah, more comment. Yeah, that was very unhinged. That prompt was extremely unhinged. That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. That one. Yeah, it was unhinged. It was unhinged. Who is Oklahoma City's biggest obstacle? I would say Spurs with Wemby are the biggest obstacle. How's it going, Arsenal? Appreciate tuning in. Harder long wait for fries, icy at main event. But golf and arcade were fun. That's awesome. Slept through 7 for period. Easy copy video got reposted. That's good. Yeah, hopefully the field trip went well. Hopefully the field trip went very well. I've been doing all right. Just been working. Just been on the grind working. Had a new video that just dropped. So I've just been doing all that. Appreciate you, man. Owen Tippin announced he's suffering internal bleeding issue during the Penguins series. Oh, I did not know that. That's awful. We're only 3 games have been confirmed for National, but we're going to know the rest tomorrow. Looks like Bengals against Falcons. Looks like Steelers against Saints, according to Ozzy. FLPA say the players want better and high-quality grass fields. I'm not surprised by that. I think, 92% of players had said they wanted grass over turf? Best sports team of any era? Well, I'm assuming they had to have won a championship. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Best sports team of any era. I mean, 27 Yankees. I mean, Murderers Row, 27 Yankees are probably a good pick for that. Isaac with a 2 right, the buzzer. All right, let's go. 91 Colts versus 92 Seahawks. Get you on the hockey game. Appreciate you, Isaac. Had a feeling you wanted the hockey game with the Wild. You'll see the lines play overseas. We'll know that tomorrow. We'll know that at, 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow? Alright, let me put this in. 91 Colts, 92 Seahawks. I'm terrified of how this game would go. I would think the Seahawks win. I would think because that defense was really good. It's just the offense sucked. Would anyone score this game is the million-dollar question. We'll go best 2 of 3. Why not? Steelers, Saints in Paris? Yep, Steelers, Saints in Paris. According to Nerding and Ozzy, who I trust a lot. All right, we're gonna go with this. I want to do one game in Seattle, one game in Indy. Oh wait, not that. 92 Seahawks. One game in Indy, and then one game at a wet field. First one I have name on the jersey backs. Was it the White Sox? Which MLB teams would have gone 16-0 with a 16-game schedule? Probably none. But 27 Yankees are probably the closest. Get ready to learn French. Yep. 15-10. All right. There's one touchdown in that game. That's beautiful. Beautiful. We had a combined... Like, there's nothing on offense this game. Yep, both quarterbacks suck. Not surprised with that. Yeah, I haven't seen the video yet on that one. Yeah, it was Bill Veck, yeah. And now we'll switch the teams. So Seahawks won game 1. Colts win game 2. I don't know why there's 2-point conversions, seeing as 2 points didn't exist back then, but Colts win game 2. And now we're going to do one game at a neutral site in the worst conditions possible. We're going to put it at, we'll go the Polo Grounds. We're going to put it at minus 20 degrees. Heavy, and just see what the heck happens. 9-6. Yep, that's pretty much what I thought. 9-6. Did anyone do anything this game? No, the quarterback sucked. Everyone sucked this game. Why am I not surprised? No one scored a touchdown. Would anyone score a touchdown? What if I keep doing this? Oh, wow, 38-13. That would definitely not happen. That would definitely not happen. Why can't we call baseball? We're gonna call baseball at some point. Don't worry, we're gonna call a lot of baseball this year. Just with the playoffs right now, playoffs get better ratings than baseball. So we'll be doing some baseball. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We got a lot of baseball coming up. We got a lot of baseball. Yeah, we should play like games like Alaska with that. Yeah, I'm surprised you even scored points. Yeah, me too. Me too. I thought it was just going to be... I guess they overrate Jeff George in this one. Because George can play. George can definitely play. I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer. Clock's at 0. $5 or more gets you in at this point. 10 resets the clock. But 5 or more gets you in at this point. And we'll stay on until at least 7:30. Just get all your questions. If we don't get anything, we don't get anything. It's all good. But we'll stay on until at least 7:30. Just answering all your questions, everything. If $5 or more gets you in at this point. Which sweep was the worst? Sixers. I had the Lakers getting swept. I mean, that series, they were just very outmatched. The Sixers, they put up no fight. The Sixers put up no fight outside of Game 2. That was a joke. That was an absolute joke of a series. When you get your arena taken over like that, and you just quit 5 minutes in, if ever a match would end on a scoreless tie, that would be the one. That would be the one. You break the NFL will accommodate the Jaguars for Everbank renovation, all 3 on the road. Well, they want to do that. They have to have a minimum. They have to go with AFC, MC. They have to have a set number. For 6 on the road? No, they're not going to do that. They're not gonna do 6 on the road. What I think is they'll probably go in packs. So they'll probably do 2 games at home, 2 on the road, 2 at home, 2 on the road. They'll probably go in increments. They're not gonna go back and forth, if that makes sense. Yeah, but the Lakers are gone. Yeah, but the Thunder are not like a pleasant watch. All good, Matthew. All good on that. Yeah, my guess is they're not gonna do like how they did with the Jets when they shared Chase Stadium with the Mets. They're not gonna do it like that. The Scottish system intelligence. It's a sign of the apocalypse. Sign of the apocalypse right there. There's probably something in the CBA that prohibits that from happening, where a team can't play that many games like that. Worst sports uniform. Oh, I would say the Bears throwbacks from the 94 season. Cleveland 75 is not a bad pick. I would say the Jazz uniforms from a couple years ago that looked like they were practice jerseys. They're just so bland. But I would also go with, I mean, if you look at the Bears 94 throwbacks. Need to rebuild around Luka? I agree. At least the Lakers tried, right? There was no effort in the Sixers series. At least the Lakers gave an effort. They were just outmatched. The Sixers put up no fight. Like, at all. Steelers Bumblebees, those are pretty bad. They might be so bad they're good. Probably the Chiefs Antarctica. I would love that. Everyone say, wow, yep. The Mavs Silver Unis. Oh, yeah. Those Unis. Jeez. I'll do the exact thing. Yeah. Can't be surprised. 0-3-0 for Arsenal. The Invincible squad is better. Ooh. I don't know about that. Maybe 22-23 I'll give you, not 17-18. No, I'm shocked too with that one, Michael. But we're talking all time. I mean, the Thunder, it's not good. They're going to overhaul everything when they get the new arena. When they get the new arena, they're going to overhaul everything. A food poisoning? Oh, that sucks. That sucks. The Giants dye Pepsi jerseys? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say the worst would probably be... I mean, the Bears 94 unis. Let's go through... Wait, do helmets count? No, helmets don't count. It's the full uniform. It's the full uniform. Yeah, the Jags helmets are up there, but it's the full uniform. I mean, if you look at the Bears throwback unis, I mean... Never seen the Bears throwback unis from 94. I mean, what are we doing here? Let me show you an image of what it looked like. Yeah, Bumblebee uniforms made the Steeler players look like prisoners. Yes. Well, I meant the other way around, JP. I meant the other way around. Not 22-23, but 17-18 I'll give you a case. But I meant the other way around. 22-23 is better than the Invincibles, but not 17-18. That's what I meant by that. Yeah, have you ever seen the Bumblebee units? How's the weather? Hot. Sunny and very hot. The T-Wolves Aquafina jerseys. Oh, yeah. LSU Ole Miss ABC Saturday night game. Not surprised by that. I think we're going to be guaranteed to do that game. FSU Florida Black Friday. I love it. I love that. Yeah, LSU Ole Miss. You had to make that a Saturday night game. And Ohio State Texas night game. Let's go. Thank God it's not big noon kickoff. I saw that. That was a good one, Summer. That was a good one. I think I favored that one. We selected Penn State. Oh, that's a good get. That's a very good get. Opinion on Trevor Lawrence. I think he played very well last year in the second half of the season once he figured out the playbook. And once receivers started catching the ball. How's it going, Miles? Appreciate you being here. I like Trevor a lot. I think he played very well second half of last season. And that's why he also... Wait, Browns Saints. Wait, I thought it was Steelers Saints. Browns Saints. Best uniform Jags Mustards. Yes. I'm seeing Steelers Saints. Wait, Browns Saints. 18 got 100 points. You know, yeah, I'm seeing Steelers Saints. Yeah, Texas will be at night. Yep. Then the Steelers use that for the Sunday night Packers game. Well, this isn't the Steelers. This is the Bears. These are the Bears unis. These were the... You know, I'm seeing Steelers Saints everywhere with Nerding and Ozzy. Whole Travis Hunter situation with his position... I'm not too, worried. It's the same thing that we've been saying since he got injured and since the start of the offseason, that he's going to mainly play cornerback because he'll be part-time receiver. He's going to be on third down package plays. So he's playing on third down package stuff, but we don't really need him at receiver right now. Brian Thomas, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers. That's a really good 1-2-3. Hunter's a better corner than he is a receiver. He's great at both. He's a better corner than receiver. We need him more at cornerback than we do receiver because obviously we lost Greg Newsome and he's not that good. Yeah, I'm dumbfounded the Jags can get their first Thanksgiving at Dallas. Oh, I'm not dumbfounded. I had a feeling it was coming. They're never going to throw the Jags a bone. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Yeah, lily pad on that one, Summer. Yep. Yeah, so Travis Hunter, he's mainly going to play corner with some third down receiving stuff. Well, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to get probably 500 yards receiving and start every game at corner and just shut down guys. He was great at corner last year before he got hurt. I am not worried at all about Travis Hunter. He was really good last year. Just athletically, you can tell. He is one of the most gifted players I've ever seen on a football field. That suit up with the Jaguars. Every time he has the ball in his hands, you know he's going to break a tackle. He's so dynamic. When she decides to, that's not fair to you. Jags Cowboys 425. I could see that too. I get some flashbacks from 2018 when that was the national 425 and we got just demolished. Dream player to join the Jaguars right now? Probably Will Anderson. Because A, means he's not on the Texans anymore, and B, I mean, that probably gets us to the Super Bowl. I mean, that would be insane, Will Anderson. But, obviously, that's not happening. Not a fan of the 4:30 a.m. kickoff. Too early. Yeah, way too early on that. 94 Rockets or 24 Celts. I'm going to take the Celts. I'm going to take the Celtics in that one. I like their bench a lot that season. I'm going to take the Celts. That bench was just really, really good. You Leapfrog assigned National Games exclusivity agreement. Yes, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. Again, $5 more gets in the queue at this point. We'll stay on for another 20 minutes if we don't get anything. It's all good. We will be live later tonight for the Knights-Ducks game at 9:50 Eastern time. So we'll be live for that when the time comes. 10 resets the clock. WAP plus my favorite streaming service? Yes. I can see that. I can see that. Again, $5 for a ChatGPT. A regular ChatGPT. Doesn't have to be the Grok erratica ones and whatnot. You 1 p.m. there's football, 4:35, 4:05 there's football, 8:20 there's football. Football every hour of the day at this point. Every hour of the day. Yeah, that's my schedule. Much, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what I mean by Clemson. It's like I think if you mean like Dabo, I think he needs to adapt or die. My day's been pretty good. Just been working and you know, Skylar he's learning. Skylar is learning. And a new video dropping tomorrow. I had one that dropped earlier today about Craig Morton. New one dropping tomorrow about something bizarre with the Cardinals back in the day. I think we'll be live later tonight for the Knights game against the Ducks. But here's the video if you haven't seen it. Yeah, it's crazy what graphic can get. Yeah. I did not think that was going to happen. I did not think that at all was going to happen. Skeens and rookie hitters? Yeah, don't expect anything. I would not expect anything of that one. You know, he's not licensed in Ohio. He is not licensed there. But schemes against the Rockies hitters, yeah, I wouldn't expect much. He destroyed our hitters. He went, I think, like 8 innings against our guys. I mean, he was just getting ahead of the count. And at least Ned found another wife. Over under 900. I'm going to say over. Thoughts on the Preakness field? I haven't seen the field. I mean, obviously I'm disappointed that we don't have the Kentucky Derby winner in. I have not seen the field for the Preakness yet. All right, let's see. How many of these guys even ran in the Derby? Like, I don't recognize any of these horses. Like, I recognize very little of these horses. Yeah, Lane Kiffin's kind of scummy. I mean, replaced kind of with very. Yeah, JG Plus exclusive content, including history of the Jaguars video encyclopedia, Saxonville by Tree, MLB history, not zoned by copyright, and music reactions. Yep. My stream platform. Yeah, I think it's Sauer Syndrome. You only 3 from the Derby. I was going to say, I don't recognize, like, a lot of these guys. I love a horse named The Hell We Did. I love that. How's it going, Steven? Guardians up 1-0 in the 4th. All right. I know Scarlett's to that one. The news about Clark, yeah, tragic. Way too young. Way too young. 29 is just way too young. You recognize Incredible, but that's about it. Yeah, LSU Clemson night game week 1. I'm excited for that. And then Louisville Ole Miss Sunday, FS2 SMU Labor Day night, and we have the Notre Dame Wisconsin game on Labor Day Sunday as well. Yeah, the times are starting to finalize themselves, and that's good because I have to plan my schedule of what You Make the Call is going to be and what games I'm going to be doing. You need to push it back by 1 week. I agree. I completely agree with you. Because the ratings are going to suck. No one cares about the Preakness if the Kentucky Derby winner's not in it. Yeah, Field of Dreams was a really good broadcast. The scoreboard was great. The game itself was great. The intro was great. Just want one season where we aren't front-loading primetime games and we're playing Dallas week 1. Well, you're not going to get your wish. Believe me, we neutral fans want that too. They're sick of seeing the Giants. Which games do I see getting announced tomorrow before the big day on Thursday? They're doing international games tomorrow. So everything international is going to get announced tomorrow. I think CBS is going to announce probably. I think CBS and Fox announce 1 or 2 tomorrow. You have still 4-0 flashbacks from. Yeah, I have 4-0 flashbacks from that game too. That was a brutal game to watch. Yeah, UNCT Stewart Island. Yep. Yeah, I gotta look into the horses on with you, JP. Right, it's time going to be at the original venue. A Sandlot game, logistically, that'd be kind of tough. You're not going to get guys to play on dirt. Got a free ticket to see the Dash. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that go to Dash games. They say it's a good time because they live in North Carolina, and the Dash play like 15 minutes from High Point. All good, Golden Steel. Appreciate you, man. All good. Yeah, so times of the games have been announced. We don't know yet on Perfect Work Nights. Can I do a live stream for the UCL final? I think we're going to do it, yeah. I think we're doing a Champions League final live stream. Play Daniel Jones' agent in Cannon? Yeah. And Kirk Cousins' agent. He needs to be in Cannon, too. Yes, I'm looking at the schedule for games. They haven't announced all the times yet. ECU Bama's the ABC game. Ooh, for week 1, that's the ABC game. Clay field work in baseball like it does in tennis. And make it very unpredictable in terms of the hops. Yeah, FUD has not looked good so far. Not even preseason. Ohio State, Texas, week 2 Saturday. I love that. That'll be locked in. If that's... Is that ABC? If that's ABC, that's going to be... Yeah, that's ABC. That's locked in. Europa League? I'm not sure. I'll double check on that one. Yeah, I saw that. They did that when Letterman went off the air. They didn't air anything in solidarity. Oh, yeah, no. That was pure cringe, Allie. That was pure cringe. Yeah, Sam Bradford's agent and Chase Daniels' agent as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the show's that good, but Editor's broadcast would be cool. That'd be very cool. Be a lot better than the Toy Store broadcast they did. May have behind the usual field, the Sandlot field, but let the kids play while MLB game goes on behind. Well, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. You can go back. I mean, Skylar broke your brain. Skylar broke your brain. Oh, man. So I'm trying to think what the schedule. They've announced some of the ABC games. ML Football is a hack. Why do you follow ML Football? ML Football is just a content aggregator and a content thief. Why do you follow ML Football? That is like one of the worst accounts on the app. It's like following Dov. Like, I muted that a long time ago. ML Football and it's like following Dov. Dov Kleiman. First game day of the season will be Clemson LSU. Yeah, they already announced the first 2, I think. Checkmate with a 5. Appreciate you, man. I eventually wish to see games in Italy, Holland, and Greece. Well, Italy's going to happen at some... Wait, do you mean like soccer games or do you mean like NFL? Greece, I don't think is ever going to happen. Oh, to see what's on my feed? Oh, like the For You page? You can always mute them. Netherlands is going to happen at some point. The Netherlands has a big football fan base. They had the Admirals back in the day when NFL Europe was a thing, and they drew pretty well. Italy, I think, will happen at some point. Italy's going to happen pretty soon. Yeah, Steelers, Saints, and France. It does feel that way. Appreciate you checking in on that one. In soccer games, I mean, the atmosphere for a soccer game in Greece is nuts. The atmosphere for a soccer game is nuts in Greece. Oh, NFL, yeah. Greece is probably not going to happen. Holland will. Italy will. So I'm confident on 2 of the 3. We're going to have Netherlands and Italy when we go to 18 games, definitely. Oh, no, I love making soccer content. Believe me, I love soccer, Arsenal. I just don't have the time. Believe me, that would be the next thing. We'd make a soccer channel. That'd be the next thing. Yeah, Steelers, Saints going to Aussie. Yeah, JPA, ML Football, and Dov are the holy trinity of suck. They already announced the game day sites. They're doing Clemson LSU for week 1, and they're doing Ohio State, Texas for week 2. So we're going to be locked into Ohio State, Texas. That's a lock. Like pencil that in right now. The atmosphere for a soccer game in Europe is nuts. Yeah, but Greece in particular. Greece, it gets insane depending on the matchup. Imagine Dov and Diana were together. Ooh. Eagles, Jags, London. That'd be terrible. Because we did them in London in 2018. That wouldn't be fair. Eagles fans have waited 16 years to come to Jacksonville already because they got skipped over in 2018. That would be terrible. That would be awful. If that's the London game, that would suck. Holy crap, that's the London game. Are you serious? Shams lying about how close Luka was being to health. Yeah, Shams is a fraud. Wow. G-Funk music? Ooh. You know, it's legit. That's legit. That is not fair to Eagles fans in the area. I'd be livid. If I was an Eagle fan in Florida, I'd be livid. No, until 2034, because 2030 would be on the road. Yeah, I have to do that, JP. Yes, I would have to do that. That is so not fair to Eagles fans. You haven't played the Browns and Cleveland since 2009. Yeah. They shouldn't be allowed to do back-to-back games in London. For interconference matchups, they should not be allowed to do back-to-back. 1-0 Sabres? All right. What Disney property do you think we're going to have a game for this year? I think Cars. I think it's going to be Cars. That is not fair at all. The fact that I watched the Jaguars play the Eagles in 2010. You know, I do that story, JP. Yeah, I would definitely do that one. I was at that game in Jacksonville. I think it was 28-3 in that game. Yeah, I think it was 28-3. And in 2018, we played them in London. 2026, we played them in London. That is not fair to Eagles fans that live in them. They haven't played Jacksonville. They played in 2010. They played in 2010. So that would mean the next time they play in Jacksonville is 2034. So that means they go 24 years without playing a game in Jacksonville. That is not fair to Eagles fans in the area. You shouldn't be allowed to do interconference back-to-back. You shouldn't be allowed to do back-to-back interconference games overseas. If you get skipped over one time, it sucks. But get skipped over twice in a row, that is awful. That is just awful. And Eagles fans who live in Jacksonville likely not pleased. No, I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. They shouldn't be. That sucks. You know, it's got to be, week 5, week 6, we're playing in London, so week 7 has to be the bye week. Like, I'm trying to think, like if I was imagine if it was like that with the Cardinals. Like Jaguars Cardinals, we get skipped over for 24 years. You know, it's like that episode of SpongeBob where Patrick's brain just like turns on. It's like, I don't know how to deal with it. The Giants were never on the road ever in international. No, not yet at least. Lock in week 7 by fact. I think fact. I feel Vikings fans in Cleveland for this reason. Yeah, this is a sign of the NFL not caring about the fans and the fact that the game is national. You know, Michael Vick looked great that game. Yeah, we bounced back against Indy. I thought if we lost that game, Del Rio was going to get fired. There were reports that Del Rio was going to be gone if we lost the game to the Colts because we got smacked against the Chargers and smacked against the Eagles. We looked like crap, and then the Indy game happened. That changed everything, man. That changed everything. Then we blow out Buffalo. Tennessee, we get blown out, and then Kansas City, the Todd Bowman game. And then, obviously, week 8, the Cowboys massacre on Halloween. That was nice. So, we had, no good games the first half of the season except for one of the greatest games of all time in Jaguars-Colts, week 4. But there were some games to start the first half of the season sucked. Those games objectively sucked. Against Jaguars-Bills, I mean, the Bills were up in the first half, and then we kind of pulled away afterwards, but Lions fans got that too? Yeah, I think so. Bills fans are mad about playing the Lions as the first home game, saying it's not meaningful? No. Yeah, Steelers Saints week 7 at Paris. Ooh la la, baby. Ooh la la. Yeah, I'm not surprised by it. Not surprised by that. Yeah, 24 years, yep. No, that was week 9. Or week 10, JP. That was second half of the season. Yeah, first half of the season we're talking. The second half of the season was the Mike Thomas Hail Mary. Yeah, I'm talking first half of the season, every game was just awful except for Jaguars Colts. Yeah, 7-on-7 drill? Yeah, it was. The next time I have a chance is 2033. That's awful with Vikings Browns. McCarthy versus Moore, old OC. Yep, Steelers, yep. I hate the standard is the standard. How do you say that how do you say that in French? The standard is the standard. Well, the Jags go to London every year. They have an agreement with the NFL. So, Shad Khan recognized that Jacksonville gets less revenue than any team in the league because they're a smaller market. So, Shad Khan made a deal where he would play a game in London every year as the home team, and they get a bigger cut as a result. So, if you play a home game internationally, I forget what the split is, but the Jaguars get, I think, 90% of the revenue from that versus other teams where it's like 60%. But what's going to happen is that we're doing 2 games in London this year because of the renovations. Next year, we're going to do some games in London. And then after that, I think we're cutting off the agreement. Because we've done it for a decade and a half. We've done it since 2013. So we're going to play 2 games this year, probably 2 or 3 games next year because of the renovations. And then after a decade and a half, the Jaguars will cut off the agreement. And I think as part of that agreement, from what I heard, they'll never have to be the home team again. I think as part of that agreement, the Jaguar, because everyone has to be the home team once every 4 years when they go, like, everything. I think the Jaguars will get a lifetime pass from that. That was the rumor I heard. I'm not sure if it's how valid it is, but the rumor I heard from our reporters is that we're going to play a lot of games in London next year. And then, oh, that sucks, Allie. That's going to be a mess to clean up. But, it will be, because we played like 15 games in London as the home team, or like 16 games by that point as the home team, we're going to get a lifetime exemption from being the home team again. NFL international games were 16 per year. Fact. Oh, when they go to 18 games, 100% fact. 100% fact. That's the goal. That's what Goodell flat out said. Juan Espanol, yep. You know, I hate that too, Keller. That sucks. That should not be allowed. That should not be allowed. It's so, because, like, you have no idea, when I moved out to Arizona, I would do that, Keller. Yes, I would do that. When I say lightning stream, that's actually a good question, because it is not late night. Did I forget to change the title? You know, it's not late night, unless you're... Alright, let me change that. Yeah, we get a lifetime exemption. Yep. We get a lifetime exemption. Because we played so many games in London where I think we're going to get a lifetime exemption, where we'll never be the road team again, or the home team again, for an international game. Because we played as the home team every year except 2020, obviously. Late night in London, yep. Because, like, when I moved out to Arizona in 2019, the first thing, I looked ahead 6 years for the Jaguars to play the Cardinals. I looked ahead that long for that to happen. And then to have the league yank that away from you. I think, okay, well, I'll wait another 8 years. Obviously, a lot changes in 8 years, but to have that yanked away from you again is nuts. That's just awful. It sucks. Like, I feel for Eagles fans living in that area. And I guess I can see them, like, make the drive down to Tampa or go to Atlanta, so it's not like Jacksonville's isolated from everything else. Like, Atlanta's not far, and they play them in Atlanta a lot. They play them in Tampa a lot. So it's not like it's completely isolated, but still, it's not fair. It's not fair to them. Like, I was in 8th grade when the Jaguars played the Eagles last time in Jacksonville. And the next time they're going to play them in Jacksonville, unless the NFL yanks that game away from them, next time it's going to happen, I'm going to be, what, 34? No, 36. I'm going to be 36 years old. I'm going to be 36 years old. Yeah, believe it, they put Vikings Broncos international a year of the games never. Yeah, that's why I always say interconference games should not be international. I've always said that interconference games should not be international. It shouldn't be. If you have a chance to play once every 8 years, they shouldn't yank that away from you. You want to put other games, that's fine. Even like divisional, I don't hate it with divisional, but it's like even like it's not like I like the games divisional overseas, but at least you play them every year. How's it going, V-Dub? Here for a few minutes for more comment too. Have a great time. What if that happened to the Jags? I would have been very upset. I would have been very livid. I would have been very livid. I knew it wasn't going to happen because I think we only had... Right, last year it couldn't have happened because in odd number years, the AFC gets 9 home games, so I knew that we were going to guarantee that game. The Cards weren't going to move that game anywhere because they had 8 games. The Cards have 8 games at home, and the NFC can't host. League expense of 36 for the Eagles play the Jags. Fiction. I'm going to say fiction. Right, the off year would be an extra home game. That I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. If you move an off year game, if you move game 17, I'm okay with that. Yeah, it hadn't been for 20 years. Yeah. Yeah, Lions fans showed up, and I completely get it. Yeah, the off-year game is the exception. If it's game 17, I'm okay with that. If that's the 17th game, if that's not part of the rotation, I'm okay with that. So I should clarify that. Like, let's say this year, our 17th game, let's assume we were playing, like, at home. We played the NFC North this year, but let's just assume it's a Jaguars home game. We play the Bears. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with moving that. But it should not be part of the regular rotation. Because the problem, too, is that game 17... game 17, the next one for the Jaguars, if they play the NFC East, they play them in... NFC East would be 2028. So 2024, we had game 17 against the Eagles, and that was in Philly. So it sounded like we could theoretically play the Eagles in game 17 in Jacksonville. No, we can't. We can't play them in game 17 in Jacksonville. It'll be in Philly. If we play the Eagles in 28, it's going to be in Philly. So, game is a rematch of that change? Yeah, that's a rematch. That's a different story. Don't put rematches overseas. Don't put rematches overseas. Right, Raiders-Saints would make sense, but not Raiders-Niners. Yeah. Yeah, Raiders-Niners, you can't move the side there. That's a big rivalry. Can't move that one. I don't think anyone's prepared for Skylar saying something smart. I don't think anyone was prepared. Opener Seahawks Bears fact. I'm going to say fact on that one. We're only conference games outside the division or game 17. But I agree, divisional games, interconference games, not crazy about it. Not crazy about it at all. Well, they'll never have Eagles, Cowboys, Bears, Packers. They'll never do that. They will never do that. The last overseas win for the Lions was the Falcons. Wasn't that a walk-off field goal? Wasn't that a walk-off field goal game by Prater? He tried one over for over 20 years. Yeah. Crazy. Goal was overturned. Oh, boy. Rich Eisen for at least one of the London games. I don't know, because ESPN, They're not going to have him as the number 2 guy. Right? He's not the number 2 on ESPN. And now ESPN and NFL Network are the same thing. Mountains or the beach? Where would I rather live? I mean, I'd rather live beach. My concern is hurricanes. What kind of beach are we talking? Is it a beach that is prone to getting hit with hurricanes where I have to evacuate my place every year? Or is it a beach where I don't have to worry about that? Like beach in California is a lot different than beach in Florida. A delay of game, yeah. Like, what kind of beach are we talking about? Is it a beach? Like, California, I don't have to worry about, like, natural weather or whatnot. California beaches? Fine with that. Fine with that. Yeah, I'd much rather do beach. Not even close, actually. Not even close. Right, they confirmed they're not going to be the number 2 team. No. But it's not going to be Eisen. I don't think it's going to be, at least. The 17th should only be international games. I'm fine with that. I am more than okay with that. 17th game, conference games, international. Rotation games, divisional games should stay in the States. Extra interconference games be flipped for 2 inverted intra-conference games. Wouldn't shock me. Would not surprise me on that. What I think it should be is 1 plays 1, 2. There should be a rematch every year. What I think it should be is there should be a Super Bowl rematch every year. So winner of the AFC, game 17, winner of the AFC plays winner of the NFC. 2 plays 2, 3 plays 3, 4 plays 4, so on and so forth. If they play twice in a season, so be it. What's the big deal? We had teams play twice in a season before. We did that with no issue back in the 80s and 90s when you had the divisions that had 5 teams. We had that all the time. Yeah, Northeast Brazil, no hurricanes or earthquakes. There you go. We still have the mudslides. Yeah, we still have the mudslides, but compared to hurricanes. Yeah, you should definitely call him. Yeah, definitely call him out on that. There was a rematch the season after the Super Bowl between 97 and 2014. That is nuts to think about. That is nuts. Well, Broncos Seahawks, the rematch was great. That was an OT thriller. That was a great game. And then 97, that was Packers Patriots Monday Night Football with Dorsey Levens having that crazy game off the injury. That's crazy it took that long. That is crazy. That it took that long for it to happen. All right, last call for anything. And $5 someone gets to at this point. Otherwise, we're going to sign off here. And we'll be live in about 2 hours for the Knights game against the Ducks. Got everything set up for that. I got the emojis in. I got the scoreboard and everything. So last call for anything. Otherwise, we're going to sign off here. Michael won the bonus. So be 29-17 on that. This is the only day for this to make the call. And then the next one after that, I'm not sure what it's going to be. No, not 22? No. The, No, not that game. No, the rematch after Super Bowl 48. No, the rematch after 48. That game was overtime. Not Broncos Seahawks 22. But that was Hackett just losing his marbles. Now I'm talking the rematch. I'm talking the rematch the year after the Super Bowl. The game in 2014, which ended in OT. Though Manning never touched the ball that game, which kind of sucked. But thank God that's not the OT rules anymore. Or the only rematch in 17 form that hasn't happened was Bengals-Rams. One of the weirdest Super Bowls to look back on. Brennan gone number 2? Wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me there. All right. On that note, I appreciate you guys a ton. JG9 sign off, and I will see you guys in 2 hours for the Knights against the Ducks. Take care. See you guys soon.